Today we're going to talk a little bit about my old watches. I'm here at my shop. I don't fix watches for a living anymore. I do HVAC work. I have my shop where I'm going to do this video. I will tell you guys right away that I don't know all the information about these watches. I'll share as much as I can, but honestly, I don't know all the information about these watches. But nevertheless, I'll show you guys these watches. Now, another thing that I will tell you is that I'm kind of a hoarder. I should sell them if I don't wear them, but I can't. I hear a lot of people say a watch comes in, a watch got to go out. I wish I had that philosophy. Ideally, I wish I only had like 5 or 6 watches and that's it. But I can't because I'm probably too lazy to sell them, or I don't know. Even though I did have a watch repair shop at one time in my life, I do know how to fix watches. I do service all these watches myself. Not here at my shop. My dad's still a watchmaker, so he's here in Tucson. And sometimes I go down to his shop and I service him there because he's got all the tools and everything I need for that. So just wanted to clear that. So I'll give you guys as much information as I can about these watches, but I don't have that much. We're going to start this way. We're going to work our way out. Now, this first watch, pretty interesting watch. I like the colors. I like the dial, the blue with the orange. I think looks pretty cool. It is a Racine, Jules Racine. And I know that Racine spelled backwards is the Inicar brand. But this watch is pretty cool. Now, this watch band, there's an interesting story behind it. I work for an HVAC company. It's a Hirsch 20 millimeter. And I went to a job one day where the plumbers were installing a tankless water heater and they needed some help with the electrical lines, putting new electrical lines to it, dedicated lines. And by the time I got there, the homeowner was a little bit upset because there were some issues going on. And I started talking to him, and it turns out he's a watch collector. He's got watches. He showed me his watches. I just showed him pictures of the watches that I have. And he had this band. He told me he had ordered this band for another watch. He needed a 22 millimeter, and he ordered this 20 by mistake. And he asked me, "Do you want it?" I said, "Yeah, sure. Of course, it's going to fit this watch. Perfect." Now, I put it on this watch. I think it looks perfect on it. Obviously, I don't wear this watch. You'll see because the band's not even broken. But I still like having it around. Like I said, I'm a hoarder, so I keep these things around. Maybe one day I'll wear some of these watches that I never wear. Now, my next watch here is a Seikko, but it's not the Seikko Poke. I know it looks just like it, but I know there's some differences. Still an odd watch. Personally, I think I'm not going to say what I think about it, but it's just not my favorite. So I did put it on this 19 millimeter Tropic. Fits perfect. And even though I don't wear it, I keep it around, and it's a nice piece to have, I guess, even though I'll probably never wear it. Now, this nice watch I do wear, and I do love. This is a Longines. It's a beautiful watch, beautiful dress watch. It's good condition. It runs perfect. I love the case, but especially I love the gilt dial. I really, really love gilt dials. The gold color with a stainless steel case. I think it's perfect. Now, this watch is from the 60s, I believe. Well, this watch is from the 70s. This watch is 70s. This is 60s. Now, this is only a 35 millimeter, and you would think a 35 millimeter is a small watch, but I'm going to put it next to a 36 millimeter Datejust, which is a very common watch. Now, if you see these two dials, the 35 looks like a much bigger watch than the Datejust. And they're at the same distance. But of course, with it not having a bezel or a tiny bezel around it compared to just a regular bezel. And this is not even a dive watch. This is just like a little engine turn bezel. That makes this watch look much, much bigger. So I have no problem wearing a 35 millimeter if it's like this. Matter of fact, when you go to, I'll show you guys right here. When you go to a 30, 38, 39, which is what I'm wearing right now, an Omega, it looked kind of big, but the wide dial makes this bezel, this watch look even bigger. So this is a pretty cool Omega There's something interesting about this. It's not one of my vintage watches, just what I happen to be wearing right now. It's a Railmaster, but I like this watch because it's actually a Railmaster. It's a Seamaster. It's dirty. Let me clean it up a little bit. It's a Seamaster and it's an Aquaterra on the same watch. That's pretty cool. I like it. Now that's a watch that I wear a lot. This watch I wear too when I do more dressy. When I go somewhere, I'll wear this watch. It's one of the watches that I wear. I love it. Now this next watch is a Junghans, German watch. It's a really odd shape. I think they call this case shape a lantern. This is probably 40s or 50s. I'm not really sure what the age of this watch. I know it works fine. I don't really wear it. It's too odd. I tried giving it to my wife and she said nope. She's not going to wear it. So I still keep it. It's one other watch that I keep. I haven't even worried about putting a band. Now, the thing about this one too is it's got dedicated lugs, so I can't really, it doesn't have pins. So that's why I've left it on this thing, and I don't think I want to put it on a needle. Maybe one day I'll buy a strap for it, but I don't know if I'll ever wear it. But it's so hot, I want to keep it around, even if I don't wear it. That's this watch. Now, for a while, I wanted a Cartier Santos. I really wanted one. I do have one, but I have the really small one. Then I wanted the bigger version of it. I never really bought it. But what I use now is a Longines Dolce Vita, which is perfect. I love that watch. I don't have it with me. It's inside the house, which is perfect. I wear that watch a lot. But before that, I had worn this watch, which I also love a lot too. It's 30 millimeters, so it's not a tiny watch. It's a Universal Geneve. I think it's a beautiful watch. Stainless steel with, of course, gilt dial, gold colored hands and numerals. It's just a beautiful watch. Now this watch I do wear once in a while, but I always think that if it rains or I get too sweaty, I'm going to damage it. So maybe it's more of a winter watch because I live in Arizona and, you know, everybody sweats here no matter what. Now this last watch I'm going to show you guys, I've showed it before here on the channel. It's a Rolex Datejust 1958. But it's got an interesting story to it. Now, about 12 years ago, I was at my dad's watch repair shop and he was working on this watch. This had a white dial that many would call patinaed, but for my dad it was just ruined or damaged. So I was there and he took the dial off. We were talking, he took the dial off and he sent it in to get repainted or refinished. I wasn't interested in buying this watch. I had other watches and it wasn't even in my dad. It was a guy that we both know. It was his watch. So he sent it in, came back. The guy had it there for a long time at my dad's shop. He wouldn't pick it up. And I asked my dad, hey, what's going on with that Datejust? He said, I don't know, you know, he hasn't come back and pick it up. But that guy, he's a jeweler, so he's buy and sell watches a lot. So I called him and said, hey, what are you going to do with that little Datejust you got? He said, why, you want it? Yeah. How much? Yeah, for you, $800. So I bought this watch for $800. It had just been serviced and the dial had been redone. Now, I know some people are probably thinking that's crazy. Why would you do a redo a dial? Now, you got to understand, my dad sees watches different than most people. It's like if you take your car to the mechanic today and the transmission's bad, well, he can order a new transmission and put it. Now, if you go to a mechanic that deals with vintage cars, he wouldn't do that. He'd fix that transmission because that's the original transmission to that vintage car. My dad's like the new mechanic. We take a watch in and he'll make it work. So that's the way my dad sees watches, and you know, he's a watchmaker. He's been doing it for over 50 years. So what we think of collector's watches, we think of just a watch. So that's how I ended up with this watch. This is not the original band to this watch. It is a Rolex band, but not to this watch. But it looks good, fits good on it. And this watch, of course, I do wear. Anyways, I just wanted to go over these vintage watches with you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video.